Share sponsor Louis Yeshiva Sam Yaakov Shalom Lab Sitzchok. We're holding up a comment that from Aleph. We're starting the afternoon with base in the two dots, which is about 8 lines from the bottom. Truly, we should have gone a few more lines down in the previous year, but it's all connected to the same sugya. We're in the middle of the sugya, the Gemara brought in Machlekes of Rav and Shmuel. What is the chiyuv of bor? Is the chiyuv of bor lahavloi, which means the bad air that the bor has, or lechavotoi, the impact that when the animal falls into the bor and hits the bor, hits the bottom of the bor, hits the floor, so then you have a din of chiyuv because of chavotoi. So it says the Gemara. Let's start first of all with the Gemara. Then we'll see a he'ora regarding havlo v'chavotoi. The Gemara tells us Tanan hayu pchutim ma'asar tefachim. If the bar is less than 10 tefachim, v'novel toich shor or chamor v'meis, and then a shor or chamor died, fell and died, but because less than 10 tefachim, the chiyuv of bar is only 10 tefachim. V'imuzak bor chayav, but if there was a nezek, so he is chayav. Now the Gemara says, you're saying a shor chamor fell into a bar which is less than 10 tefachim, you potter. My time, because it's not enough of an impact. So the reason chiyuv of bar because of impact, not because of the bad air. So no, because you don't have enough bad air in a 9 tefachim bar. So more now understands by chavot by impact. You could say a higher height that causes a stronger impact that could cause death. A shorter height causes only nesek. But you talk about a hevel, but bad air, 10 tefachim and 9 tefachim makes such a difference? Says the Gemara, Amrin in, ein havel miso yesh havel nezikin. Yeah, there's hevel for misa, there's no hevel for nezikin. It's the same thing. The same idea of impact. The bad air, the deeper the bar is, the more bad air it has. Now, this is one he'ara about havla v'chavotoi. The Gemara explained according to Rav, why you chai because of bad air and not because of the impact? Because karka oilim mizikosoi. I didn't create the impact. The impact was there the whole time, meaning I just created the height. But the actual hit, which is the bottom of the bar, was there the whole time. So I was with my uncle, Reb Ezra, on Shabbos. Told me a question he heard on the bus in Yerushalayim many years ago. And then I checked and I saw that the Achronim bring this question. The question is, why there's a chiyuv in bar when a person digs a bar. There's a chiyuv in bar when a person opens a bar. When a person opens a bar, which hevel did he create? The hevel was there the whole time. If you're saying according to Rav, the story is I didn't create the impact because the karka was there, it's karka ilam. So if I have a hevel over there and the bar is closed and you pick up the kisui, I didn't create the hevel, I didn't create the bad air. That bad air was the whole time over there. The Achronim have different answers. Someone will say that maybe you did create the bad air because when it's closed, there's no bad air. The bad air is only when you have an open bar. It's a little hard to understand. They go and they say it's different. When you have a hevel, you have an actual mazik. For example, let's say I have a fire and I take the clothing of my friend, put it into the fire. You chayav? Obviously, yes. I didn't create the fire. The fire was there. Yeah, but that's an act of mazik. If I have a mazik which is there, I have a fire, I have a shore, and I put something in front of it or into it, of course you chayav. You put something into the nest. But by the bar, the karka, the spur of Rav is, the karka didn't create the karka. Karka was always there. The karka is not a mazik, it's a piece of land. So what was created? The height. The height is gramo. That's not what's killing the person. It's killing or the animal. What's killing is the impact, is the land. The land is not a mazik. But when you have a havloi, have bad air, it's a mazik. So now when you bring a mazik to the world, by uncovering it, it's a problem even according to Rav. Gavaldik and Ikuda regarding the sugya. Says the Gemara, so there was this shore that fell into Arisa. Arisa Deloy is, as Rashi points out, it's a yor of Deloy with a mashke desada, which means it's the famous amo the Gemara brings throughout Shas. It's amo by amo with a water there's a canal of water going in the field to be mashka the field. It's only 1 act. Shachte mori. The owner took the shar and checked it. He didn't check too much. And we have a cloud that when an animal falls, is a chashash of treifa. It may be impact, maybe got hurt, and it's a treifa. So the Gemara says, Nachman said, this shar you can't eat it because maybe it's treifa. Maybe you got hurt. This owner would take kavod kimchol. He would take a small portion of food, as the in order for another to pay some money in order to be able to tell some patients, don't check the shar. You have some expenses, pay for a little bit of flour, and go to Beis HaMedrash, ask the question, what would happen then? If you take that amount, the also tell them would go to Beis HaMedrash, they would learn if the shar stayed alive for 24 hours, if a shar falls and gets hit, there's a chashash treifa. But for 24 hours it stayed alive, you're okay. So just let the shar live for 24 hours and you'll be okay. But the owner rushed to shech the shar. And now I have to make this shar treifa. So something like if you would know that learning, he would now lose the shar, which is worth many kavah. In other words, it was worth it for him to take a little bit of expense of 1 kav of flour and to take care of his expenses, and he would not lose the whole shar. So you see from Nachman, what is this amo? Amo is 6 tefachim. The shar fell 6 tefachim, not 10 tefachim. We just said that you can't kill a shar unless it's 10 tefachim. Here's Mashri that 6 tefachim is enough. Says the Gemara, it says if the bar is less than 10 tefachim and the shar fell into it, it's potter. That means there's no impact unless it's 10 tefachim, at least for death. Treifa means death. Says the Gemara, should the lace be havel? No. Rav Nachman will say, I explained the Mishnah that this goes according to Rav, not like Shmuel. The problem is hevel, the bad air. It's not because of the impact. So the one goes back to the question I said before. If you got damage, you're chayav, but there's no bad air. Their bad air can be bad air for me, so not for nizik. If there's bad air for me, so there's bad air for nizik. The place where they killed a person when you have to do skilo. How did skilo work? When a person gets a chi of skilo, they put him on the roof. They throw him from the roof and then they throw stones at him. So how high was the base of skila? 2 floors. The Tani Allah, the Bryce explains the Krema Shalom. Then you have the height of the person. Harika charge, it's almost 3 floors, and that's how he died. If there's chavato less than 10 tvachim, there is a hit, person get hit less than 10 tvachim and die. Why do I need 3 floors? So when the time okay, so that's not a question of Nachman. Even going to our Mishnah, so do 10 tvachim. Why have to do 3 floors? That's different from Nachman. Omar Nachman, Omar Bava, Avua, Omar Kro, V'ahavto lerecha kamoicho, b'roi misiyofa. The reason we do such a height, we want the person to die quickly. We want him to do a misiyofa. He should not suffer. So I don't throw a small thing and it takes a long time to die. You throw him from a very big height and he dies right away. Says more, so make it bigger. Right? Make it 3 floors. Make it 10 floors. It will cause, if a person falls from a very high floor, his body will be scattered all around, and it's not mechubadik for the person to die that way. So that's why it's not proper to do it. Says the Gemara, if the person falls from it, the pasuk says you have to put a mak, you have to put a fence around your roof, because someone's going to fall from the roof. So you dash from here, mimenu from it, not into it, not inside the house. So what does it mean? Meaning, if the Rishus Rabim is higher than the house, and he fell from Rishus Rabim onto the house, potter. But if the house is 10 tefachim height, and he fell from the house to the street, then he is chayav. Meaning not falling onto the house, have to fall from the house. If you could die but less than 10 tefachim, why are you telling me that the height of the house was 10 tefachim in order to have a market? By the way, the Rashba says, Rashi learns, we talk about the chiyuv of a market. The Rashba learns is, on the Isra, it says, sosim domim bevisecha. Person who kills is chayav l'sosim domim. According to Rashba, it's after the fact. He already died. According to Rashi, talking about before the fact, do I have to put a fence on that? Says the Gemara, Amali Shani Bayis, they call Pochos Ba'asor La Ba'isu. Well, the reason is like this. The chiyuv of putting a fence is on a house. A house needs to be 10 tefachim height. Not because of the person can die for less. But in order to be chayav in a mark, you need to have a house which is 10 tefachim. So 1 second. If you want to say if it's 10 tefachim height, you have to put a market. If it's 10 tefachim height from the outside, it's not 10 tefachim height in the inside. Why Dalmini Tikur Mazi will take away the roof and the plaster that you put in order to protect the roof. Right? For us will be the beams and the roof. Mikavoy lo have inside is not 10 tefachim. You say it has to be 10 tefachim. Only can go the chag mikavoy. No, you're right. 10 tefachim means height from the outside. Inside, he's digging a little bit. The house has a little bit of a call like a basement or a French basement, right? The house inside has 10 tefachim height because even though the outside is only 10 tefachim and the inside is a little less, but he dug a little bit inside, made it higher. Says the Gemara, so why do you have 10 tefachim? Go back to the question. The house can be 6 tefachim high. The inside nobody can live. No, he was digging inside and made it 10 feet. Says the Gemara, why? How could that be? They dig the lot. So it says the Gemara, right. So the Gemara says, you see from here, impact is 10 tefachim. That's why the house has to be 10 tefachim in order to be chayav in a market. Impact is 10 tefachim. So why is Rav Nachman telling me 6 tefachim, which is the height of the Amel? Says the Gemara, and I am telling Rav Nachman. What is the height from the stomach of the ox to the floor? 4 tefachim. What's the height of the Amel? Shita. Oh, sorry, here's a 10 tefachim. 10 tefachim is the height of the legs and the boar. You're right. The shor himself has a height too. So you have 4 tefachim from the floor until you get to the actual body of the animal, and 6 tefachim of the animal. He's getting hurt by 10 tefachim. So why is our Mishnah say 10 tefachim? B'shita sagi should it be enough? Our Mishnah means that he rolled into the bar. He did not fall standing up. If you stand up and he falls, you're right. Until you have the 4 tefachim of his legs, 6 tefachim of the bar, that'll be enough. I'm saying this guy, he rolled around upside down, so then we need 10 tefachim out in order to cause that impact. So here, the Rashba says something over niflamoid. Because according to this, so really a boy would be chayav with 6 tefachim? The Rambam wants to say that. It's a little hard to understand. It says the Rashba Pshat is like this. A bar, the Chiv Torah is only a bar that can kill in any way, any shape, form. So because when the animal falls upside down, you need to have at least a bar 10 tefachim. So therefore, any bar less than 10 tefachim is not chayav. Even though when the bar is 6 tefachim and the shor fell standing, so there is an impact over here, the Torah is not mechayev. The Torah is mechayev only when the shor, when this bar causes nezek all over the place and every single scenario. Says the Mishnah, you have a bar belongs to 2 partners. The Gemara is going to explain how can it be belong to 2 partners. The first one went through it, he did not cover it. Then the second one went through it and did not cover it. The second one is chayav. There's a gear sword brought down the Gillian. Some Rishonim want to say a Rishon chayav. That has to do with the scenario of the Gemara. We'll get to that a little later, because Hashem. But bunch of Shad in the Mishnah, the Rashi is going is the Sheni is chayav because he's responsible. He needs to cover the bar. The Gemara is going to explain why is he responsible. Says the Gemara, what's the key? How can it be a bar that belongs to 2 partners? That's going to be all the Kirbi Akivo. No bar b'shus chayav. The bar that's in your b'shus chayav. Very easy. It's a chos that belongs to both of them, 2 partners. Ubar Shashneim, and the bar belongs to both of them. Fiv Kir Rishus of Liv Kir Bar, the Mafkir, the Rishus, but not the bar. It's theirs. But according to the gears, so that we learned earlier, according to Rabbi Shmuel, that if the sharf, that there's no such thing of bar Rishus, Mafkir not Chayav, Hey Mashkar is not the Chayav and Levi Rishus Rabbi. So what's the case of Rishus Rabbi? Rishus Rabbi in Bar Rishus Rabbi, make Mashkar. How can you have a bar in Rishus Rabbi? Now, even though maybe you could have, if you're Mafkir, the Rishus and the bar. But that's not the classic case of the Gemara, of the Torah. Classic case is bar Rishus Rabbi. So if that's a classic case, and you get to that today from an angle, and then the day, well, how do you classic case have the two shutafim? This is why either show shliach tarvayu, if they're both appointed a shliach. The Havali Zil Korilo and Vaza Korilo, he told them go dig for us, he dug for them. Ain't shliach d'avera. There's no shliach d'avera, and you can't do it. Here the Acharim are bothered. What is the avera of creating a bar? We know someone creates a bar is chayav. Which avera is in the chayav? What did he do? The Mishnah Melech, Kiv points out over here, learns the Isur Derabbanan. In the Orais, there's no Isur to dig. There's anybody who digs is chayav in it. But there's no Isur to do it. Others want to say that the fact that there's mechayav, that teaches you Isur. You're not allowed to create something that causes a nezek. So the Gemara, if, so he wants to say, it can't be did a shliach. So what's the case of a partners? You want to say one dog 5, the other one dog 5. So the first one is gone. The second one is one that caused the nezek. That goes well to Rebbe and Ezekiel, because the first one created a bar for Ezekiel. You know, a bar less than 10 tefachim could cause a damage. So once you have a bar that does cause damage, even though the second added to it, both are chayav according to Rebbe, as Gore's going to say in a moment. So they hold that you're not chayav. Sorry. So according to if you want to say it's called Nezikin, according to Rebbe, it works. But for Misa, only the second one created 10 tefachim and he's chayav, and not the first one. So there's only one partner. Or Rabbanan bein the Misa, bein the Nezakin. According to Rabbanan in both cases, Misa and Nezikin, there'll be no partnership because only the one who created the height, the last digging is chayav. Hechem Eshkaret Lo, the ones that tell them bring in a second Mechlekes. They did it together. They dug together. There was a 9 tefachim hole, and they went together and took out the last tefach. So they're the partners, but creating it together. So in my Rebbe Marabon, what's the story of Rebbe Marabon? First, there's a bar of 10 tefachim. One adds another tefach. The last one is chayav. The last one created misa. Before there was only mizikin. They both have chayav and mizikin. My time in the Rabbanon, so he's in the Rabbanon, it says in the pasuk, you open or you dig. You know, why do you have to tell me that? If you're chayav when you open a bar, of course when you dig a bar. That's what it means to say. The chiddush is kriya means to say even though he didn't do the whole kriya, someone else did the kriya. He just did one last tefach. He's still chayav. The first one is out. No, the reason we say kriya and pesach is to teach you that we talked about, of course, earlier, to teach you chayav and shusarabim, right? They more about different drushes to learn from it. Right? At least keep psicho the kriya ba'aloi. So, Rabbanan also need that for that drusha. So how do they learn their drusha? Says the Gemara, one digs, not two. For everybody, a person is chayav, not if an animal dug the bore. For Rabbanan, Rabbanan said it says twice. For everybody, because of I. In other words, the Machlekes says, I have each bar to tell you what does it teach you. Follow a short bar, and then the second one teaches you something else or not. Rabbi holds it teaches you something else. It's not teaching you something else. Rabbi holds it does teach you something else. Then only one is chayav. Says the Gemara, why say the last one is chayav? Maybe the first one is chayav, the one who started the bar. So the Gemara, let's take that. You can't say that. The one who created the misa is the one who's chayav. You need the plus of something else. Don't worry. Shor, which is hegdish, that's pasul, is mifta, but shor psul mikdosh, which is hegdish got pasul. You're not allowed to enjoy the dead body. So Only if you can enjoy the mace, you're chayav, now you're not chayav. So you see over here that what? So where do you learn the pasuk that one of the mace is chayav? We know the Bahuda, yeah. It says in the pasuk the mace the mace belongs to him. You see, the bar created misa. So the one who created the misa is the one who's chayav. You learn both in the same thing because one is a mashmos and one is a drasha. So that's the limud over here. Doesn't matter, a person digs a hole of 10. Another one and another 10. A third one and another 10. They're all chayav. They all created a big bar. There is a big bar, and a person went and put plaster on it and made beautiful designs in it. So then the last one is chayav. The one's going to spend a second. What did the Achron do? So the Chorah says they want to have novel base. Maybe that's the machlekes. The one who says you have 10 and then another 10, another 10, they all created the same thing. They all created a full bar. So could you be partners in the bar or not? Rabbi holds you could be partners in the bar. Rabbi holds only the last one's chayav. So in the case that says you put plaster on the bar, only the last one's chayav. So that's your bar. So the Gemara, Amar Zid, Abi Rabbanan, both Rabbanan. Ad kan lo karabon achor chayav eleicha de lo yav kam shur misa. I'm going to say chayav when the first one didn't do shir misa, did only shir nezikin. So the chiddush is that even though the second one added more for the zikin, and they both had the zikin, the second one is chayav. Right? If the first one did miso, everybody agrees they're all chayav. Rashi explains why. If they want to do, but it says nine. Right? So we're talking about with the diuk of Rabbanan is ish v'loy shtayim, because we're talking about when we talk about bor tisha. Oh, just to see the pasuk. Ki kreish bar, and then we're talking about here. It says Rashi regarding Ezekiel only. So regarding Ezekiel, we say one can do it, not two. But if they both created mitzvah, they both chayav. Says the Gemara. What about when he puts plaster? They call it kamashur miso. The first one already did miso. He had a whole bar. This is the last one's chayav. Talking about when the bar is too wide, there's no bad air. So there's no miso. Came the second one, created miso. That's why it's chayav. So when you can Rebbe, both prices are Rebbe. And they said when you do 10, another 10, another 10, Shafir, very good. According to Rebbe, you could create partners in a bar. The bar did not cause, had no bad air, not for me, it was not a bar at all. I mean, it was a hole over here, but didn't cause any damage with this bad air. Then someone came and created an obviously, this goes according to Rav, that holds that the Havla, or according to Shmuel, and we talk about that it's full of svugin shetzem, it's full of cotton, doesn't cause any damage with the impact, only with the bad air. Shmuel agrees to bad air as well. Says the Gemara, you have a bar which is 9 tefachim. Person went and added a stone on top, and now it's 10 tefachim. Meaning, according to Rabbanan, for the zikin, the last one is chayav. According to Rebbe, they both. So pshita, when he's adding another tefach on the bottom, so then you're saying that you're chayav. He's not the one what's killing is the bottom of the bar. He just added height. That's the chiddush that he's still the one who's chayav. Says the Gemara, right, now just to mention, if the Baruch Shif asked the question, the whole story that we mentioned is only regarding the Mechlekas Rabbi Rabbanan, is regarding Ezekiel. Regarding Misa, then they both agree that you go with the last one. So the Gemara comes and says, but let me tell you, because when you have the last tefach, that causes more of a Misa than the one on top. There's no Mechlekas Rabbi Rabbanan in the case of Misa. What's the difference between the last tefach and the top tefach? And that's what the Bava Yeshiva asks. So the Rajba explains to us, he speaks in Amud Aleph, he says, the pshat is, when you have a bor, why according to Rabbanan, when I'm adding misa, you have? Because I'm creating a new bor. This bor did all in Ezekiel. Now when I'm doing a bor for misa, I'm creating a new bor. It's a bor of misa. There's also the Ezekiel as well, but it's a bor of misa. If that's the case, it's bor of misa. It's a new bor. So it says, I created a new bor only when I did the last tefach, not the top tefach. Says the more top tefach v'silik avon of now. Let's say a person added a tefach and then he closed that tefach. Or he added a stone and took away the stone. Me and my dog chocolate. Whatever he took, whatever he did, he took it back. Or then we start with my serisha come and cool say take. Or maybe say once the second one created a bar, the first one is gone. The second one created the bar, and now it's his. He can't take it back. It's because he doesn't take it. Go to the Raj we just mentioned. It's very gishmak. Kapshat is he created a new shame bar by making it a bar for Misa. So the you have 8 tefachim bar. Umem shtei tefachim mayim. 2 tefachim of it is water. It's full of water. Chayav. My taima kol tefach the mayim could trade the yabosha dami. Every tefach in this bar of water is like 2 tefachim of the yabosha. So you have your 8 tefachim, but 2 tefachim are double, so that's why it's 10. What about 9 tefachim bar with 1 tefach water? Do you consider you have your 10? Because now that much water is only 1 tefach of water. Lace Bava, it still doesn't create the bad air of a bar. Or you look at the Amik Tefillah because it's deeper than 8 tefachim. Is Bava. That's good enough. What about bar Shibu? We have 7 tefachim bar and 3 tefachim out of it is water. Now, because there's more water, so therefore it has more bad air. 3 tefachim of water. Because that's so deep, there's not enough water. It's more taker, meaning this is all we're not so sure. We spoke about 8. We don't know about 7. We don't know about 9. Yeshiva asks a question. What happens if a person made the bar very wide? I made less hevel. The second one made it wider. The wider the bar is, the less bad air it has. Yeah, but making it wider, he caused it easier to fall into it. Let's check. If the cause of the death was the bad air, so he caused a bit less bad air, so he's less responsible. If he died because of the impact, he's the one who brought the impact closer to him. Obviously, says the Raj, but this is according to Shmuel. According to Rav, you can't say that. Says the more depends where the short fell from. If he fell, the bar was going from this area to this area, and he added to the right of the bar he made it wider to the right. If the short fell from the left, the adding didn't add anything. So then the hevel is less. If the short went from the right, that caused it to fall. And this works even according to Rav. What happens if the depth and the width is the same? There's always bad air until the width is larger. It's bigger in size than the depth. But if it's the same, there's still hevel. There's no hevel until the depth is more than the width. In other words, when the depth is more than the width, there is hevel, bad air, it causes misa. When the width is more than the depth, there's no hevel and there's no problem. When it's exactly the same, machlekes. So the first one passed by, he did not cover it. In other words, the bar is really asking, why is the Risha Potter? He went for the bar and he saw that it was open. Why is that chayav? So once we explain, because the Risha gave the responsibility to the shame. So, well, when is the Risha Potter? The minute the first one went through the bar, he sees his partner, the second one, he's using the bar. That's your responsibility to take care of it. When he gave him the cover. In other words, does he have to give him an action to take the dal, you will cover it? Or just by seeing him using the bar, you can leave? It's a machlekes. So look at tonight. It's a machlekes tonight. Hamad the mayim in a bar. Someone who's taking water out of his pit. Second one, his friend comes, you know what, now it's my turn. Seems using the bar, patur. No, only when he gives him the cover. So what's the machlekes? What's the shorish of machlekes? There is breira. Each one is using his own water. I'm using my water, you're using your water. So I'm taking water from my own pit. My own water from the pit. What does that have to do with you? You have to cover your pit. There's no breira. So if I'm taking water, that means I'm taking a little from your area. So as Rashi says, let's see Rashi it's not a borrow. They use it in response to the garden. In other words, if you hold yesh breiro, I'm taking mine, you're taking yours. I'm not responsible for your portion. So in other words, if someone fell on the board, we're both responsible. But if I hold ein breiro, so it means is when I'm taking water, I can take water. This is not my water. This is both of us. Elamai, you let me use your water. So I'm a borrower. I'm responsible for your portion. They go to they have the same courtyard, but they did not know, you're not allowed to enjoy each other. Assuming because the chutzner. Now I use it. Because I can't go to the chutzner because you have your portion over there. You can't go to the chutzner because I have my portion over there and we have a nether. No, I go to my chutzner, I'm using my portion. I'm a 50% partner. You're going to the chutzner, you're using your portion. What's machlekes? There's breiro. When I'm using mine, you're using yours. I'm going to my chelik, you're going to your chelik. But in tzaveh ain't breiro. But in tzaveh there's no breiro. Meaning, let's first of all understand the breiro over here. Many of the Rishonim point out this is not the sugya of breiro that we have throughout Shas. And we can bring a whole discussion of breiro. Most of the Rishonim learn this is a different breiro. The breiro that we're talking about is when I have a chotzer, or I have water, is the agreement that what I'm using mine. That's the permission. That's what we divided it. And when you're using it, you're using yours. Or the pshat, in other words, we each own 50%. And if you have 50%, I have the right to use it 50% of the time, and you have the right to use 50% of the time. When you use the 50%, you're using your 50%. When I'm using my 50%, I'm using my 50%. Or you say, no, we all own 100%. So what you're taking belongs to me, what I'm taking belongs to you. So how does it work? Because we're agreeing. I'm going to let you use the portion that belongs to me too, because you own 50%. So that's our agreement. You're going to let me do it. So if we're mudar, I know I can't do it. You can't enjoy me, I can't enjoy you. If each one has 50%, I'm enjoying my chelik, you're enjoying your chelik. Going back to our sukkah, the same thing by bar. By bar, if I'm enjoying my chelik, you're enjoying your chelik, so you use the bar for your chelik, I use my bar for my chelik. We're both responsible for this bar. But if, and therefore, says, according to this Mandamar, when I give you the cover, then I'm saying you're responsible. But according to the other Mandamar, so the old name Breira, how can I take from the bar? Because you gave me permission. So I'm the borrower. I'm responsible for the borrower, even if you didn't give me the cover, even if you just nichoy mishtamish. We'll stop over here and continue from here, Be'ez Hashem, in the next year.